It was raining in New City 9. The streets were quiet, lights flickering from above. A boy named Aaron walked alone, his coat dripping with water, his shoes splashing through puddles. He didn't like rain. But something about this night felt different. It was too quiet, too empty, like the city was holding its breath. Then he saw her, a girl, standing in the middle of the road. Arms wide open, face turned to the sky, laughing, not a soft laugh, but a strange, echoing laugh. Like metal bells bouncing in the air, she wore a thin silver suit that clung to her skin, like liquid, and her hair floated slightly. Even with no wind, Aaron stopped walking. She was beautiful, but not in a normal way. Her eyes glowed a soft blue, and her skin looked too smooth, too perfect. She turned and looked at him, her head tilting like she didn't fully understand what she was seeing. "You looked confused, human," she said, with a big smile. Aaron took a step back, unsure. Who are you?" She laughed again, louder this time. "And you say, I'm not funny." That's when Aaron knew something wasn't right. She hadn't blinked once, and her feet weren't even touching the ground, just floating a few inches above the wet street. "I don't understand," he said. "Are you from here?" "No," she said, slowly lowering herself to the ground. "I'm from somewhere your maps don't show." She walked closer, step by step, and the lights above them flickered with each step. Aaron looked around. The city felt frozen. Not a single car, not a single sound. "You're not scared," she said, tilting her head again. "That's interesting." He forced a nervous smile. "Should I be?" She looked up at the rain and stuck out her tongue like a child. "Fear is boring," she said, "but curiosity, that's funny." Suddenly, she vanished, like static on a screen. Gone. In a blink, Aaron gasped and looked around, heart racing. Then a soft humming sound came from above. Government drones, black and round, floated down from the rooftops, scanning the area with red lights. One of them hovered in front of Aaron, scanning his face. "Citizen ID match. Aaron Delson." The drone said in a robotic voice, "Report to nearest control station immediately." Aaron didn't move, still in shock. "What was that girl?" he asked, almost to himself. "Unknown entity detected," the drone replied. "Threat level, undetermined." Before Aaron could ask more, the drone flew away. Disappearing into the sky, he looked around. The streets were back to normal. Lights, steady sounds returning slowly, but the air still felt strange. Like it remembered her presence, he walked home in silence. Her laughter still ringing in his ears. When he reached his apartment, he locked the door behind him and sat on the bed. Staring at the wall, he kept hearing her voice, the strange words she said. "You're not ready yet." What did that mean? He turned on the news, but nothing was reported. No mention of the girl or the drones. It was like nothing had happened, but Aaron knew what he saw. And he knew she wasn't human. That night, he dreamed of her. She stood in the same street, but the city was upside down, floating in the sky. She looked at him, smiling again, and said, "And you say I'm not funny? Human?" He woke up in a cold sweat. For a second, he thought he could hear her laugh through the walls. The next morning, Aaron woke up to a loud knock on his door. Still half asleep, he walked to the door and opened it. Two men in dark uniforms stood outside, their eyes cold and sharp. Aaron Delson. One of them asked, "Yes," Aaron said slowly. "You need to come with us." The other man said, "Now?" Before Aaron could ask why, they stepped inside and took him by the arms. "We're not criminals," Aaron said. "What's this about?" They didn't answer. They put him in a black car with no windows and drove away. The ride was silent. The only sound was the soft hum of the engine. After what felt like an hour, the car stopped. They led him into a large underground building, full of metal walls, guards, and blinking lights. Aaron was taken into a small room with a chair and a table. He sat down, confused and a little scared. After a few minutes, a woman in a gray suit entered the room, holding a tablet. Aaron Delson. She said, "You had contact with an unknown entity last night." "You mean the girl?" Aaron asked. "The one in the silver suit." The woman nodded, her face serious. "She's not a girl," the woman said. "She's not even human." Aaron leaned forward. "Who is she then?" The woman turned the tablet toward him, showing videos, grainy footage from street cameras, showing the girl in different places across the city. In one video, a man walked up to her, then suddenly dropped to the ground, shaking. In another, she stared at a camera, and the screen went black. "We've tracked her for weeks," the woman said. "Every person who comes near her changes. Changes how?" Aaron asked. "Some go silent, some laugh non-stop," she said. "Others vanish." Aaron felt a chill. "But she didn't hurt me." "Not yet," she replied. "You might still be under her influence." Aaron frowned. "She didn't do anything to me." "She spoke to you," the woman said. "That's enough." Aaron looked at the screen again. She laughed. He said softly, like a real laugh, not fake. "That's exactly the problem." The woman said, "Her species doesn't laugh, doesn't feel." "She said she was different," Aaron replied. "She said I looked confused." And then she joked. The woman narrowed her eyes. Joked. "She said, and you say I'm not funny, human," Aaron explained. The woman stood up, walking around slowly. "We believe she's testing humans," she said, "studying reactions." "Then why hide from you?" Aaron asked. "Because we tried to capture her," she said, "and she escaped, suddenly." The lights in the room flickered. The tablet in the woman's hands turned off by itself. A cold wind passed through the room, even though there were no windows. Aaron looked around. Something was wrong. Then he heard it. Laughter, soft and strange. Like bells ringing underwater, the woman looked at the ceiling. "She's here," she whispered. Then everything went dark. For a moment, there was nothing, just silence. Then a soft blue glow appeared in the corner of the room. The girl, Skara, stepped out of the shadows, smiling. "Hello again, human," she said to Aaron, ignoring the woman. "You're not supposed to be here," the woman said, reaching for her radio. It sparked in her hand and broke apart. Sakara tilted her head. "Why do you all take everything so seriously?" Aaron stood up slowly. "What do you want?" "I want to understand," she said, walking closer. "I want to feel the things your kind feels." She looked at the woman, then back at Aaron. Laughter, sadness. "Fear. Your emotions are loud." The woman stepped back, but Aaron didn't move. "You said I'm not funny," Skara said again. "But I made your heart race, didn't I?" Aaron nodded, unsure what to say. Skara smiled. "Then maybe I'm learning." She touched the wall, and it melted open like soft clay. "I'll be watching you, human," she said, then disappeared into the tunnel. The room lit back up. The tablet rebooted, and the air felt warm again. The woman looked shaken. "You need to leave," she said to Aaron. "Now? Why?" he asked. "She didn't harm us. That's what's dangerous." The woman said quietly, "You're beginning to like her." Aaron didn't reply, but deep inside, he knew she was right. He didn't fear Zikara. He was curious. Aaron sat in his small apartment, staring at the wall. He hadn't slept properly since that night in the government room. Skara's face, her strange laugh, her glowing eyes, they were stuck in his mind like a memory that wouldn't fade. The agents told him to stay quiet, to forget her, but he couldn't. That laugh was not dangerous, it was lonely. Suddenly, the lights in his apartment flickered, then turned blue. His screen lit up, but it wasn't showing any normal program. It was her Zikara. She appeared on the screen, upside down, laughing again. "Miss me already, human?" she said playfully. Aaron blinked. "How are you? Screens are boring," she said, "but useful." She snapped her fingers on the screen. and his speakers made a sharp buzzing sound. Then silence. Then she stepped out from the wall. Not. The screen, the wall, like the air opened and let her in. Aaron stood up, shocked. You're here? Really here? Ziekara walked around the room, looking at objects like a child in a toy shop. Your world is full of noise, she said, picking up a spoon and examining it like it was a treasure. I don't understand you, Aaron said. Why come to me? She turned and smiled. Because you listened, no one listens in my world, she added. Only numbers and silence. She sat down on his chair, her glowing suit slowly shifting color like oil on water. My kind doesn't laugh, she said. Softly, but I do, and that makes me broken to them. Broken? Aaron asked, sitting across from her. Yes, she said. They study me, they fear me. They say emotions are poison, but you don't think so? Ziekara leaned forward. I think emotions are the only real thing in the universe. She looked into his eyes. Do you know what a punchline is? Yes, Aaron said. It's the funny part at the end of a joke. She nodded slowly. My people don't understand that. They only understand results, not meaning, I told them a joke once, she said. They shut down my lab for a week. Aaron raised an eyebrow. What was the joke? She grinned. Knock knock. Aaron smiled. Who's there? Time, she said. Time, who? Time to run. The experiment has begun. She whispered. Then she laughed loudly. And for a second, Aaron laughed too. Not because it was funny, but because her laugh was so real, so full of something no machine could fake. You broke protocol with that joke. Aaron asked. I broke a law of my kind. She said, humor leads to feeling. Feeling leads to chaos. Do you believe that? I believe chaos is freedom, she said, and laughter is the key. Before Aaron could answer, there was a loud bang on the window. Black drones hovered outside. Red lights flashing. Skara stood up, calm. They found me again. Aaron ran to the window. They'll come in. She shook her head. Let them try. The room suddenly shifted. The walls bent slightly, like reality was soft clay. Skara touched the wall and whispered something in a language Aaron didn't know. The drones stopped moving, their lights flickering like dying candles. Then they crashed to the ground. Silent, Aaron looked at her, shocked. You can control them? He asked. No, she said. I confuse them. My energy isn't in their system. She added. It's emotional. They run on code. I run on feeling. Aaron stepped closer. Are you dangerous? Ziekara looked at him for a long time, then said, only if you fear change. She turned and began walking toward the wall again, ready to disappear before she did. She looked over her shoulder and said, tell me one of your jokes next time. Human. Then she was gone. The room returned to normal. The drones remained broken. Aaron sat down, heart racing, head spinning. He had met something not just alien, but impossible. And somehow, it felt more human than most people he knew. He turned on his screen, opened a file, and began typing. Skara. She laughed, and the universe blinked. He didn't know where this was going, but one thing was sure. This was no longer just an encounter. This was the start of something much bigger. Days passed, but Aaron couldn't stop thinking about Ziekara. Every time he looked at a screen, he expected her face to appear. Every time he heard laughter in the street, he turned around, hoping it was hers, but she didn't come back, not until the night he went to the old train station. The place was abandoned, rusty, and full of shadows. Aaron liked it there because no one followed him, no drones, no agents. He sat on a bench, thinking about the joke she told. Then he heard it, that strange, echo-like laugh. He smiled without even turning. Took you long enough. Ziekara appeared beside him, sitting without a sound. You came, she said. So I win? Win what? Aaron asked. The bet, she said. that you'd miss me. He chuckled. You're not great at jokes, but you're good at being mysterious. I've been studying, she said proudly. I even wrote my own comedy routine. Aaron raised an eyebrow seriously. Yes, she said, standing up, her silver suit glowing faintly in the dark. She cleared her throat like a stage performer. Then began, why did the black hole go to therapy? Aaron grinned. Why? Because it had too much pull and zero light in its life, she said, arms wide, expecting applause. Aaron laughed. Not because it was perfect, but because it was hers. Okay, not bad, he said. You're getting there. Scara smiled. I also tried dark humor, but my last test subject fainted. Aaron's smile faded a little. Test subject. She sat down again. Don't worry, I didn't break him, just opened his mind a little too far. Aaron looked at her closely. You say strange things without emotion, then laugh at the worst moments. I don't always know what's funny, she admitted. Your species laughs when scared, or sad, or even angry. That's true, Aaron said. Sometimes we laugh so we don't cry. Scara tilted her head. Then laughter is protection. Sometimes, yes, she nodded slowly, as if she was adding it to some hidden list. Then she stood up and reached out her hand. Come, she said. I want to show you something. Aaron hesitated. Where are we going? Somewhere I can be myself, she said. He took her hand, and the moment he did, the world around them shifted. The train station melted into stars, and the bench turned into glass beneath his feet. They were floating in what looked like space. But Aaron could still breathe. What is this place? He asked, looking around in awe. It's between places, Scara said. A pocket I built to think. You built this. Yes, she said. I built it from imagination and leftover memories. Suddenly, shapes appeared in the space around them. Ghost-like aliens, floating screens. Pieces of laughter shaped like music notes. This is how I see your kind. She said, so loud, so colorful, so messy. Aaron looked at the shapes with wonder. It's beautiful, Scara smiled softly. Most would call it broken, then maybe broken is better, Aaron said. She looked at him, surprised. That was almost poetic. I learned from the best, he replied. Suddenly, her face turned serious. They're coming for me, Aaron, she said. My people, the ones who don't laugh. Yes, she said. They believe I'm dangerous now, because you laugh. Because I feel, she corrected, and worse, I make others feel too. Aaron stepped closer. What are they going to do? Erase me, she said calmly. Wipe me out like a corrupted file. He clenched his fists. Then we have to stop them. Scara laughed again, but this time it was sad. You really are funny, human, she said. But thank you. The space around them began to dim, stars fading. We don't have much time left here, she said. Aaron looked at her. Why tell me all this? Because you're the first person who didn't look away, she said. You saw me, not just the alien, not just the glitch. Aaron nodded, and I'll keep looking until they stop me. Scara reached into the air and pulled out a small glowing orb. Take this, she said. It holds part of me. Aaron took it gently. What does it do? It listens, she said, and maybe, just maybe it laughs. Aaron didn't sleep that night. He held the glowing orb in his hands, watching it pulse gently like a heartbeat. It was warm, not just in touch, but in feeling. He could almost hear laughter coming from it, soft and distant, like a memory. Scara said it was a part of her, but it felt more than that. It felt alive. The next morning, Aaron tried to go outside, but something was wrong. The sky was too clear, the streets too quiet, no people, no cars, just silence and cold air. Then he saw them. 3 tall figures, dressed in silver and black, stood at the end of the street. They were not human. Their bodies were long and smooth, faces hidden behind dark visors. They didn't walk, they floated. Aaron stepped back, but it was too late. One of them raised a hand, and suddenly his body froze. He couldn't move, couldn't speak, only breathe. Then a voice entered his mind, not spoken, but felt. "You made contact," the voice said. "You carry her signal." Aaron tried to resist, but the orb in his pocket started to glow brighter. "Release it," the voice said. "It is not meant for your kind." Then another voice echoed in his head, warmer and familiar. Zakara's voice. "Don't let them take it," she said. "They don't understand." The silver beings stepped closer. Their presence made the world colder, like feelings were. Being drained from the air, Aaron gathered his strength and forced his hand into his pocket. Gripping the orb, the moment he touched it, energy burst from his chest, knocking the figures back. They floated up, paused, then vanished like smoke. Aaron dropped to his knees, breathing hard. The orb hovered in front of him, spinning slowly. Then it spoke in Skara's voice. "You're stronger than I thought. Human." Aaron looked up. "What are they?" "They are my kind," she said. "The ones who erase joy, who band emotions. They fear what they cannot control. Then they fear you." Aaron said, "Yes," she replied, "and now?" "They fear you too." Later that day, Aaron met with someone he didn't expect, a man named Captain Wren. Leader of a secret branch of Earth's defense unit, he had been watching Aaron for days. Tracking his contact with Skara. "She's not just some lost alien," Wren said. "She's a signal?" "A signal?" "Yes," Wren explained. "Her presence changes the emotional frequency of human minds. She makes us feel deeper." "And what's wrong with that?" Aaron asked. Wren looked serious. "Not everyone wants to feel. People hide from emotions, they build walls, they create systems, but she breaks those walls." Aaron stood. "So you want to silence her too?" "No," Wren said. "I want to understand her, but others in the government don't. They've sent out a capture order." Aaron's eyes widened. "They're going to hunt her." Wren nodded. "And if they can't catch her, they'll destroy her." That night, Aaron found himself walking to the old train station again. He didn't need to call her. She was already waiting, sitting on the same bench, smiling. "I knew you'd come." She said, "You're in danger," Aaron said. "Quickly, they're coming for you." Skara's face stayed calm. "They've always been coming. This world is not their target." She added, "It's me." Aaron sat beside her. "Then we have to fight back." Skara looked at him gently. "You can't fight them with guns, Aaron. You fight them by laughing, by feeling, by living, but that won't stop them," he said, frustrated. She nodded. "No, but it will slow them, confuse them. My kind cannot process chaos." She reached into her chest and pulled out another orb, smaller, glowing red. "This is the signal core," she said. "If placed inside the Central Earth network, it will spread." "Spread what?" Aaron asked. "Emotion," she said. "Pure, unfiltered feeling. Coded into sound waves and light." Aaron took it carefully. "They'll come for me next." Zakara smiled. "Then tell them a joke." She stood, looking at the stars above. "I was created in silence," she said, "but I choose to be loud. Promise me." "Aaron," she said, turning to him, "no matter what happens, don't stop laughing." "I promise," he said. Then she vanished, leaving only the glow of the two orbs behind. Aaron stood on the rooftop, holding the red signal orb in his hand. The wind blew through his hair, cold and sharp. Below him, the city lights flickered. Unaware of the storm coming, he looked at the orb again, its glow pulsing like a heartbeat. Inside it, he felt something strange, something powerful. It wasn't just data or energy it was feeling. It hummed with laughter, pain, fear, and joy, all packed into a single ball of light. He remembered Zagara's words. Emotion spreads faster than light, she had said, but only if someone dares to feel it. Aaron had made his choice. He took a deep breath and activated the orb. A beam of red light shot into the sky. Invisible to the eye, but loud to machines, it entered the central communication grid of the city within seconds. Screens across the city glitched, then displayed strange images, smiling faces, crying children. Music, colors, memories, pure emotion. People paused to watch. Some laughed, some cried. Some just stood in silence. But far above Earth, something else had also noticed. A massive alien vessel hovered beyond the clouds, cloaked from human sight. Inside, cold voices spoke. The human has released the core. One voice said, containment protocol failed. Said another, deploy intercept units. The ship opened, releasing silver figures through the clouds. They dropped fast, like falling stars, heading straight for Aaron. Back on the rooftop, Aaron saw the sky turn dark. He didn't run. Instead, he spoke into a small device. Captain Wren, they're coming, the voice replied quickly. We see them. Hold your position. Moments later, jets appeared, flying fast over the city. The sky lit up with energy beams, explosions, and sound. But Aaron knew this wasn't a battle of machines. It was a battle of minds. The orb in his hand glowed even brighter, reacting to the fear and hope around it. Suddenly, the air bent near him, and Sikara appeared. Breathing hard, you activated the signal, she said. They're going crazy. Up there, they're trying to shut it down, Aaron said, but I won't let them. Skara looked proud. Then you are truly one of us now. He nodded, but I need to know something. Why did they send you here in the first place? Skara's smile faded. I was born. Wrong, she said. They wanted to study me, to understand why I felt things. They sent me to Earth because your species was considered emotionally unstable. They thought I'd disappear in the chaos. But you didn't, Aaron said. No. She replied, I found people like you. She looked at the glowing city below. Humans feel more in one day than my people feel in a lifetime. But now, my kind sees that as a threat. Aaron took a step closer. What if we don't stop the signal? Skara looked at him, eyes shining, then emotion will spread across the network. She said to other planets, to other systems, and they will feel too. A loud explosion shook the rooftop. Several silver drones landed nearby. Surrounding them, they raised their arms, glowing with blue energy. Skara stepped in front of Aaron. They want to erase everything, she said, even this moment. The drone spoke in perfect sync. You are corrupted. You are not. Logic, you are virus. Sikara laughed softly. Maybe I am. Then she turned to Aaron. Tell me a joke. Aaron blinked, confused. What? Just one, she said. Tell me something funny. Aaron thought quickly, heart racing. He looked at the drones, then at Sikara, and said, What do you get when an alien tells a joke? She smiled. What? A signal strong enough to break a galaxy. Sikara laughed. Loud and real. The sound echoed like thunder. The drones froze, their lights flickering, shaking as if broken. One by one, they collapsed. Silent, Sikara turned to Aaron, still smiling. You did it? She said. No, he replied. We did, suddenly. The orb in his hand floated up, glowing brighter than ever. It pulsed once, twice, then shot into the sky. This time, everyone saw it. The light spread across the clouds. Into space, into the stars. The signal was free. Skara looked at the sky, her voice calm. The truth has no punchline, she said, but sometimes the joke is everything. The sky was no longer dark. After the signal spread across Earth, something had changed. The stars above shimmered brighter, and the air felt lighter. People all over the world had seen the red light rise. They didn't know what it was, but they felt it. Some cried without knowing why. Others laughed at nothing. It was as if the planet had taken one deep breath after years of silence. On the rooftop where it began, Aaron stood beside Ziskara. Watching the city glow, jets no longer flew above, and the alien drones were gone. What happens now? Aaron asked. Ziskara looked up, her silver eyes reflecting the stars. Now we wait, she said, and we see if they choose to feel. You mean your people? She nodded. They've already heard it. The signal reached their home systems. They will try to understand it, and if they don't. Aaron asked. Ziskara smiled. Then they'll do what they always do. They'll erase it, deny it, and pretend they didn't feel anything. But a single laugh is hard to forget. She turned toward Aaron. You were brave. I didn't do much, he said. You listened. She said, that's more than most ever do. The city lights flickered, then returned to normal. Ziskara walked to the edge of the rooftop, her long hair floating behind her. I don't think I belong here, she said softly, but I don't belong with them either. You belong with whoever laughs at your jokes, Aaron said with a grin. Ziskara turned, surprised, then laughed. A real, full laugh. It echoed in the air like music. Finally, she said, a proper punchline. A flash of blue light appeared in the sky. It wasn't an attack hit, was a message. A large ship hovered above, not hidden this time. It glowed with soft patterns and slow-moving lights. A voice came through the air, low and calm. Entity Ziskara, it said. Return to origin for emotional cleansing. Ziskara stepped back, shaking her head. No, she whispered. Not this time. The voice spoke again. You have infected a lower species. This is against code. Aaron stood beside her. We're not infected, he shouted. We're human, and we laugh because we choose to. There was silence from the ship. Then another message, slower this time, your signal was received. Our logic systems are unstable. Laughter created memory loops. Ziskara smiled. Good. Maybe now you'll stop deleting everything you don't understand. The voice paused. Then said something unexpected. Tell us. A joke. Ziskara's eyes widened. Did they just... Yes, Aaron said, smiling. They asked for a joke. Ziskara stepped forward, took a breath, and said loudly, why did the human teach an alien to laugh? A long pause. Unknown. The voice replied. Ziskara raised her arms. So they'd stop deleting joy and start uploading feelings. For a second, the ship made a low humming sound. Like static and music mixed, then silence, then a small robotic chuckle. Not perfect, but real. Ziskara turned to Aaron. Shocked, they laughed. She whispered. Aaron grinned. Told you your jokes would save the galaxy. The ship began to rise, slowly fading into the clouds. No attack, no threats, just leaving. They're not ready to change, Ziskara said, but they're starting to listen. She looked at the sky, then back at Aaron. I think my job here is done. Aaron's smile faded a little. You're leaving? I have too, she said gently, but I left something behind. She tapped his chest right over his heart. You carry it now. The signal, the spark, the laughter, it's inside you. He nodded slowly. Will I ever see you again? Ziskara stepped closer. When the stars laugh again, looked for me. Then she leaned forward and whispered one last thing. And you say I'm not funny? Human? Before Aaron could answer, she vanished in a ripple of silver light. The rooftop was quiet again, but it didn't feel empty. Aaron stood there a while, listening to the sound of wind and distant city laughter. He smiled, because for the first time in a long time, the universe had a sense of humor.